Hey there, so I've got some pretty good news to bring to you today. In one of the most recent beta updates, they added in voice acting for pretty much everybody. Now this is really nice, and I guess I'll just talk about it. So, the voice acting is there for all characters. Now don't worry, there'll be no spoilers in this video until I give the warning, and the majority of this video will just be me talking, no spoilers, so don't worry. You'll have plenty of warning, it'll be fine. Now, the voice acting itself is done in a way that I think is perfect for MMOs. Now, the example for me of an MMO that misused voice acting is Star Wars: The Old Republic. They tried to make it kind of like Knights of the Old Republic, a Mass Effect-y sort of stuff, but you don't need fully voiced dialogue with dialogue options and all that stuff when you're just doing a fetch quest to rustle some bear arses or something. And that was really annoying, and one of the things about Star Wars: The Old Republic that absolutely did my head in was just even getting quests was so annoying. You had to seep through so much dialogue, and the only alternative to that was just spam the spacebar, and that was overall very annoying. It was voice acting done in such a way that it impeded the player's ability to play the game. There are some people who, really myself included in many cases, who just want to play the game. They just want to go to the place, kill the things, go back, hand in the quest. Great. Well, the way that it was done in Star Wars: The Old Republic would mean that every time you wanted to hand in a quest or do anything, the game would just be like, whoa, you see that nice flow and pace you've got into? Stop right there. I mean, I'm telling you, going to a new quest hub in The Old Republic sucked. Now, it might seem like I'm just railing in this game for no particular reason. Well, the reason why I highlight it is because I think Warlords of Draenor is actually doing dialogue the right way, and it's important to contrast these. So in Warlords of Draenor, you still have quest text. You still pick up quests in the completely traditional manner, which is fine. I wouldn't change that. A lot of people enjoy that, and one of the great things about lots of quest text is it allows the, developers or the story people to just put a bit more flavor in there for the RPers and the people who really get value out of that. And it's also a very cost-effective way of doing that. If they want to cram in all the details into quest text, that's fine. They really are able to do that, and it's pretty cheap. Whereas, of course, voice acting is more expensive, and voice acting generally, though, does have more effect for more people. So how have they done it in Warlords of Draenor? Well, similar enough to Mists of Pandaria, just as they have fully rolled it out. You know the way in Mists, sometimes when you would take quests of people, you'd get some dialogue, but then sometimes you wouldn't get dialogue, you just get a text, little bubble appear above them. Well, in Warlords of Draenor, pretty much everything in the main story is voice acted, and all the kind of side quest hubs are also voice acted. It's really cool. Lots of voice acting going on. And the way that the voice acting itself plays is, you go up to a quest, and maybe after you've accepted the quest or something like that, the NPCs will have a bit of a chat, or, they'll talk to you or say stuff like that. Now this is really good because, of course, it means you can get the brief of what you're doing in a completely non-obtrusive manner. This means that players who just want to get on with it also get to experience the story at the same time. This is my preferred way of doing voice acting. It gives you all the story and the immersion of, say, Star Wars: The Old Republic levels of voice acting, but it doesn't impede the flow of the game, and, keeping... A very important thing in game design is the ability to retain your players within a flow that they're comfortable with, and jabbing that flow and pulling it all the way back by doing what the Old Republic did just wasn't really too good for an MMO. Maybe in a single-player RPG that works, not in an MMO. So yeah, Blizzard have basically went and have done it right. Maybe the Mists of Pandaria stuff was a bit of a kind of beta test for it, because really, they seriously have rolled it out. Just about everything is voice acted, it's great. Now, in addition to that, you'll also find that just while you're running around with characters, or if you even bump into a character or something, sometimes they will just have little bits of dialogue, voice-acted dialogue that play. I know that in the intro area, they really do a fantastic job with the voice acting. You don't need to read any quest text or anything like that, but all the characters, who are all, by the way, very well voiced, I'll talk about that in a bit, but all the characters are talking to you, you know what's going on, and you feel like you're kind of in a band of people. It's great. So good. I know I'm sort of gushing about this, but whatever. It's my freedom to gush, goddammit. Yeah, so there you go. The actual implementation of the voice acting is great. Now let's talk about the quality of voice acting, because frankly, we've done a lot of bosses in World of Warcraft that have had less than stellar voice acting, and less than stellar writing as well. But so far, what I'd say is Blizzard have definitely benefited by going back to their roots a little bit. They're writing themes that are simple enough. It's just war, it's Warcraft, you're fighting the Iron Horde, they're the big bad dudes, you know, they're evil, they're mean. That's easy to write, but that's okay. You know, it's easy to write, it's easy to translate into epic moments that could be voice acted pretty well by decent voice actors, and the whole thing just fits together quite well. As for the quality of the individual actors themselves, well, what I'd say is Khadgar's great. Khadgar's got a bit of wit to him that I like. You've got, say, Yeril Marad. Marad's voice is just insanely good. Grommash is also very good. So is Blackhand. A few of the orcs, like, they start... Well, maybe some people are going to hear, like, evil Kermit in some of them. I personally don't, but I could see how people would hear that. Still, though, overall, voice acting is really good. Now, I've blabbered on about this for long enough. I will put a minute or two of just little bits of footage on this video. I'll just append them at the end, just to give you an idea of how it's used and just how that stuff goes. But before that, actually, I just want to mention that cutscenes also benefit a lot from the voice acting. Do you remember back in Uldum, right, when you had those Harrison Jones cutscenes that just pulled the camera away, took away control of your character, and you had all this dialogue going on with no voice acting, and it was just face-palmishly bad? Well, here's the thing, like, those cutscenes still happen. Not as much as Uldum, don't worry. They still happen a little bit, but now that they're voice acted, they're actually half decent. You know, there's a great one with Ner'zhul that goes on for both the Alliance and the Horde in Frostfire/Shadowmoon. That's brilliant, and just, yeah, overall, it means that the little cutscenes work quite well. The little inconsequential bits of dialogue with quests work very well. I just think that overall, it's got such a dramatic increase in the quality of the Warlords of Draenor storytelling, you know, that it's definitely worthwhile. I'm very happy to see Blizzard move on to this, though. They've always been critical of the overuse of voice acting, or perhaps the misuse of voice acting, and, well, I think they've shown that they have implemented it in a way that's non-obtrusive and totally fits the bill and does the job well. Right, that's enough of me blabbering on. I'm going to put some voice acting in the video now, so if you don't want to hear that, then leave. Just go now, hit the X button, run away, run, fear of the spoilers, and yeah, okay, I think that's about enough stalling. Time to play the footage.
I'm going ahead to the demon's lair. We'll capture it together.
Just get me free, stranger. I could kill 100 of these pigs with this shovel alone. I swear by the spirit of my father, I will make them pay! Good to see you, my child. My people welcome your aid, champion. Come with me.
Prophet, I must warn you. The Iron Horde intends to strike out against all who oppose them. We must prepare our defenses.
We will deal with one problem at a time. First, we must settle your people.
This is it, boys. Let's break some ground and take this world for the Alliance.
You and I against an entire clan. Sounds like my kind of fight.
First, we deal with the bridge. We will find a way through. Now, let's get moving. We cannot hide here forever. Follow me, and stay close.
A combat arena. This may be a trap, but at least we'll... This slaver and torturer knows nothing of honor.
It'd be easier to guard you if you stayed out of sight, Khadgar.
I am not a child to cower beneath your cape, Cordana.
Alright then, so there you go, some of the voice acting. I'm not going to spoil everything. I know that not everyone cares about the spoilers, and I did, you know, cut out some of the major spoilers, don't worry. No character deaths or anything like that. But yeah, it's very cool, isn't it? I'm really pleased, especially with Khadgar, as I said previously. Khadgar he is a classy chap, and I like his wit and his general manner. It's pretty cool. So yeah, there we go. Now, one thing I will say is that some of the voice acting from the big major scenes is really cool, but obviously, I didn't show that because that would be too spoilery, even to show you YOLO swagging mad bastards who don't care about spoilers. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.